Jerry Rice and Randy Moss.
Y'all put the two top to your
With your
boot top.
Hit him with the blue top.
That's blue magic.
Them niggas went to shitty schools.
Too tragic.
Mississippi Valley State and Marshall. How many niggas you know Marshall besides that movie about the accident with the whole team died and shit? Remember that We Are Marshall? You ever seen that?
I have not.
It was a teary-eyed movie. Sports teary-eyed movie about listen, I'm trying to speak real intellectually right now if you give me a chance. It was a team that died on I think an airplane accident. They were basketball. Was it basketball or the football team? I think it was a football team. Yeah, Marshall, man. They made a whole movie about the shit. You know, that's the school that Randy Moss went to. That's why I only paid attention to the shit because as a youth nigga, I used to collect football cards and watch a lot of football.
John Wilkes Youth. Now it's interesting to go into the dollar store, the Dollar Tree to be exact, and to see those cards that I used to beg my mom for at Ames, and I used to beg my mom for at Stop and Shop because they were probably like $3 a pack back then, and that was probably equal to maybe like $5 today. And I was, I learned how to accept being told no.
Right. Oh, yeah, and that's a good thing. I prepped my daughter early. Get used to that no, baby. Life is full of disappointments. You got to get them early. You got to get these motherfuckers right now out the door.
Well, and you could teach them the quality of the dollar store. We could be like, baby, let me tell you, we can go in here and you could pick out 3 things. You know what I'm saying? And anything you want in the store, you can get 3 things. Right. Damn, man, when I was a kid, that shit would have rocked my world. They'd be like, I get 3 things?
Right. You always getting one no matter what it is. Like one.
Shit. And one was an every now and then thing.
Right.
One was definitely not a, man, I can't tell you how many times I got turned down for a quarter for a piece of bubble gum and just being like, yo, and then you grow up and you're just like,
right here.
Then you grow up and you realize how a quarter isn't shit and just be like, man,
y'all ain't shit.
Shit.
You turn it into y'all ain't shit. And my mother admits she admits that when they're as we were older and cross-examine situations from the youth, she blatantly was like, we lied about that. Yeah, we lied about a lot of shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna tell you now, we all those times we used to beg her for a fucking dog. Oh, we want a dog, mom. Please. No, we can't. Landlord, can't have one here. No, landlord. She's like, no, we was lying. She's like, I was lying all the fucking time. We just knew the responsibility and y'all wasn't ready for it. So it wasn't gonna happen. And excuse me, living in those fucking, back in Bridgeport especially, and we had tiny ass apartments. It's almost not fair to a dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got a tiny ass little apartment, and here's this dog just running around in a fucking circle, like, all on top of you. I got nowhere else to go, pal.
Yep.
It's your bed and your head. I'm laying on it. It's all I got. I might piss in that corner, and that one's full. I go piss in that one over there.
Dogs need to run.
Yeah, need some get up. You know what I mean?
No, man. Same thing in this condo. Like, I wish I have a dog, but I know, my life is too wild. Right. No, I just work too much, and especially I work the night shift. It wouldn't be, it just wouldn't be fair to him. And then, so at that point, like, in my mind, how I look at it, I'm like, I would have to get 2 dogs so they can keep each other company. And then I'm like, am I really about to take care of 2 dogs for the next 15 years of my life?
Right, and that people forget that. Like, it's the short term. They can live long now. I mean, shit. My brother had a dog that lived to damn near 20 years old, man.
Yeah,
like it can happen. It's like that's a commitment. I don't think people really. It's fucked up. I don't think a lot of people really accept that or embrace the commitment it takes to actually fucking take in a pet, man, an animal. Like, nah, man. This like they need you to survive. You know what I mean? It's like you brought them into this shit. They didn't ask you. You brought them into your shit. So take care of them.
True.
Welcome to the show, niggas. This is the Watermelon versus Pumpkin podcast, niggas.
Godcast, Squadcast.
Oh, listen, there's gourds, man. It's a gourd ward, and we want you niggas to not choose a patch, but be the patch. Don't choose a patch, but be the unison one patch.
Plant your own seed.
Listen,
that's all we're saying.
If we could cross-pollinate, we would just. I'm a cross-pollinated nigga. Look at, you know what I mean? I'm an Afro Greek.
You living it.
You know
You're living the message.
I'm living. I'm practicing what I preach. You know what I mean? I want you niggas to get out there. If you're black, go on and find you give me a Thai baby. Go get you a Thai lady and have some black Thai babies. Black and Thai. I don't know. What other strange one would there be? I guess Chinese and maybe.
Black and Asian always looks amazing in terms of females.
Shout out to my man Shice, man, who has two beautiful kids with his Korean girl, and beautiful kids, man. It's like, yeah, this is model shit, man. You know what I mean? This.
Yep.
What are you? You're like black and Asian. That's exactly what this is right now. But I'm thinking of something that might, I don't know. I think of like Indian features with like Chinese features, and I try to blend them, and I don't know if that works there. They have the complexion, but certain features that vary. I'm trying to think of like a Chinese guy with like kind of more narrow,
unibrow?
like the narrow eyes, but with the big bags. Because a lot of Indians features, they have like those dark circles under their eyes. So
That Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, give me them dark circles with the slightly narrowed eyes to look into your soul. And
you can get what you want nowadays, though, if you got enough money. They all that genetics is like.
I love how he said, you get what you want, nigga. It's like a conveyor belt.
It really is. They do that shit where it's like, yeah. So you wanted blonde hair and green eyes? Okay, got it.
Oh man, that was such a question I wanted to ask somebody that I found out at a job I used to work at, and she had a kid. Like, and one of the other guys asked her, hey, asked somebody. It was just regular conversation, like, oh, it must be crazy for the father must be, he just assumed that, he didn't know. He's like, oh, the father must be XYZ. They couldn't sleep. She goes, no. And then she said she was basically went and, I don't know the terminology word for it, but basically went and got sperm in the bank and just, picked it out of a catalog.
Sperm donor, yeah.
Yeah, so, but from what I heard, like, I wanted to ask her more about it, but I didn't want to fucking kind of intrude on her personal shit. But,
yeah.
Like, I'm just curious, like, do you really pick out, what do they have available to you? Like, besides physical, do they go into like an IQ test? You know what I mean? Do they do? I believe they do. I don't know.
I imagine that it's more than
like
fucking
looks.
Tinder of sway.
Right.
He looks
right. Well, it's just like, oh, he's 6 foot, this and that. But it's like, oh, he's athletic. He's this and that. He's German. He's got, he's got.
I think it's interesting too to however much money or for whatever reason you would donate to a sperm bank, then just like. It's an odd thing, and maybe because I do think too much and have too many moments where I'm laying at bed at night with my mind racing of like, but imagine if you just had maybe some kids out there. Like that's some heavy shit. Some babies.
Some maybe babies. They are. It's tough, man. See, my lady, I just got her. I don't know if I mentioned it. I might have mentioned it in another episode, but I think I did because we did Christmas gifts. But she got her results back from the DNA test. I don't know if I even shared that, but she didn't know her father. Her father was mystery man, question mark, like LeBron's.
Biological didn't bother.
We'll talk about LeBron and Phil later. But when she went and got it, she was excited. She got her results back, and gonna find out my woman she was 63% on the French tip. So me being the asshole I am, I'm like, ooh, I'm going online right now. I want a French outfit. I want crepes in the morning. Like, now I'm just going to every stereotype of French there is. It's like, I knew it. I knew you had a French neck. That's a long French neck. Boo, that's a French neck. I can tell.
I knew you had that baguette neck.
That baggy neck. We suck on your baggy neck.
That baguette
hey, listen,
neck.
I used to work in an art gallery. I've seen a lot of paintings of French women, and they all got long necks.
Yep.
It's just just like, oh, my God. It's just so much canvas for my lips to cover. Or back then, who knew? They probably fucking wore shit to stretch it out like in Africa. With the rings and shit. But, I was interested in, and then she linked into it because she doesn't know her father, and people, and she puts it in there and sets up a profile through the DNA ancestry and all that stuff. And she got a couple hits, man, from people that weren't from her mother's side. So her mission is on, man. She's on her detective shit right now, and he might be dead for all we know. So the Frenchman, she coming for you, nigga.
No, man, that shit has and I'm not saying this is what happened with her because this might make things better for her, but those DNA tests have ruined some families. Let me tell you, man.
Yeah, and that's
you got to think back in the day, you would never have even thought that this was a possibility. Like that's what they say with the internet and like say people who did sex tapes on VHS. You could never imagine the internet was going to come out and just fucking
it's going to last forever. Doesn't matter if they
and then
have
one
the
day
physical
it's
copy.
just boom, forever the shit is out there.
It's a clip. No longer
Yeah.
you don't need physical. Like you just stream it, upload. It's right there in your face. Like, that's your mom, bro? She's taking it like a champ. You know?
So people back in the day, like if a woman, cheated on her husband and got pregnant and just kept her mouth shut forever, shit, she might be fucking 60 years old right now, and her child is just gonna be like, you said I was.
Yeah. Oh no, listen, the research she's done so far,
they match it up to your strands of your DNA. She was telling me the lingo. I kind of lost it already, whatever the hell it was, but. When you look at the DNA,
we don't be paying attention when bitches speak, y'all. Y'all know what it is.
It was just an education moment. And I really didn't pick that word up. I understood it, but it was like the DNA. When you see the structure of a DNA strand, how it looks like that squiggly line with the shit in the middle. Well, those all make up the
double helix, dog. The double helix.
See, he knows what he's talking about. I don't know what the fuck the double helix. But each one of those that each marking that matches up, so she had a lot of markings. And it says if you have so many markings, more than likely the person that they're trying to connect you with is like a cousin or probably a first cousin, second, third cousin. They have the numbers that match with the likeliness of that. So she found somebody that was from the father's side that was really close, and couldn't find out that person who was possibly a cousin, or she was trying to figure out, or might be an aunt. Her she was adopted. And she was adopted, and she went into a chase and a hunt to find
that cousin or aunt.
That cousin.
Okay.
Went to find her own, because she was adopted. She didn't know anybody, And she tracked down her fucking father, and it was like a thing, like how you said, it was like she came in there and almost like she just didn't want to ruin anything, but it was kind of like some things, some tension there of like, but he didn't know. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, that's the other thing, too, is that a lot of people do the whole fucking, oh, man, and he ran off and all that. Yo, there's definitely situations to where this man had sex with this woman one night, 2 nights. Maybe they used to date and broke up, and it didn't, and then just.
And you're talking about like
it happens where back in the day, it wasn't a fucking text. The fucking social media didn't exist, so you could find out what that person was up to. This shit was a cell phone, not even a fucking cell phone back in the day. So there could have been fucking
payphone.
Hey man, we met this one time, we lost touch.
Right. No,
Whatever.
it's easy. Right. It was easy.
Yo, back in the day, if you lost somebody's phone number and you didn't know where they lived,
it's a wrap.
You're done.
It was like,
maybe one day we'll see each other grocery shopping.
And that's why people back then really believed more in that meant to be faith. You know what I mean? Because you can find anybody now on the internet, but it's like, if you lost a phone number, like say if you lived in New York, you know what I mean, the fucking volume of people in New York, and you met somebody and you lost their phone number. If you seen them again, it's like, it's got to be something to it. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
it's like, we got to run with this feeling. It's fate, baby. Come on, let's run.
Yo, I can tell you even like this, say this day and age, how many times do you run into somebody that you know, but you didn't plan to run into them? It does not happen often. Like I don't see many people that I know just like out and about and run into them. It's not a
and we might be in the same, and we'll be in the same fucking town.
Yeah,
it's like I know where you live. You're in the same town, but I don't see you. We don't, But she was tracking it down to the markings of that father. Was looking like more than likely her father, either one of his brothers was her father, or one of his brothers had an illegitimate child outside of family that had her father. You know what I mean? Like,
it's one of those
her
you
father
never know.
was the illegitimate child from that family that they're all connected to. So, because back, like you said, back then, man, it was like that shit was like you didn't do that. You know what I mean? So that's like 50. You go back to even further, like the 50s, 60s.
Oh
right?
yeah.
It was a certain type of, that whole woman does this, man does this. You don't cheat. You cook, clean, take care of the kids. You cheat on me, I'll kill you. But I'm going to go lay my dick around and swing it around town. You know what I mean? That was the kind of stigma back then. You know what I mean? The kind of the arrogance that existed.
That's just the way it
But
is.
then you had women that were like, I'm a fucking hidden rebel, nigga. I'm going to go out here and I'm going to do me. You doing you. And then that do me turned into like, ooh, this might not be you.
And I believe the complete whore that women look up to for no reason, Marilyn Monroe said, well-behaved women rarely make history.
Oh, man.
So when she was coming up, mom just didn't give no clues, or it just wasn't available?
That's a touchy one.
Yeah.
Her mom, had her issues back in the day with like abuse and stuff. Like she's good now. She's been 20-something years clean and everything. But she was she grew up. Her mom was out there in the streets a little bit. But it was one of those that she was messing with some guy at the time. But her mother I love her mother. She's a funny one. But she told her at a young age, like she said she was like 13, and she was like asking her mom at 13, Mom, is there any idea like you tell me who my dad is at 13? It's like I kind of I should know.
I want to know.
And she was like, she goes, well, I narrowed it down to when I was born to actually the months backwards, that right around the time of your birthday weekend. She goes, oh yeah, oof, that was a hell of a weekend. It's like, there it is. Talking about the 70s. Like, it's like back then. And I told, she doesn't like talk about it too much. And you know, of course I come up with craziness. I'm like, well, you know, what if it was something crazy, baby? What if they had like, you know, they had orgies and shit back then? Like that's embarrassing. Like she would never want to tell you that.
Of
You know what I
course,
mean? Like,
yeah.
who would ever tell their kid that?
Well, listen, babe, I want to bring it up to you.
Well, it was a big fucking orgy, and it could have been Tom, Dick, or Harry with the dick in Harry. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
Tom with the hairy dick. You never know.
but it could have been just more moms just embarrassed to admit a one night stand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like it just could have been as simple as that. It was a one night stand, and like that, no contact. You know, they partied, whatever in the '70s. That's what they did. They had sex. They kept it moving. But the problem is like, oh, she was pregnant. Like I don't even know what behind that nigga to tell him.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna run with the guy I'm with and be like, I think it's yours.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
that's tough.
Yeah. But being in such the fog when she was, you know, being fucked up back then, it's not clear. She's asking her to remember fucking, you know, 79, 78. It's like,
Yeah.
Well, 79 was the year before 80. I remember that.
Right.
But but you know, hey, the guy could be dead right now. I mean, but just to know, I think a lot of it's too for the peace of mind of lineage, you know, of knowing like things that like some people don't look at, like health issues. You know what I mean? Like, if there's family history of health problems, something you might want to know. Like, oh, I looked it up and found out this like diabetes runs big in that side of the family. It's good now I know. Heart failure, you know, shit like that. High blood pressure and all that good shit. You know, so you can pass it down to your lineage, man. You'll this is my word of the episode so far. Lineage. So you're linear.
You're gonna want to have a linear line in your lineage.
But it kind of makes me want to get one, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna get it on sale like I got hers. But it's $100 to get one. And it's very.
You definitely get it. I would wait to a sale, bro, because they're
for a
always when there's a sale, they're $49.
$49, $60. I think I got hers for $60. What's interesting is for like, you know, of course for African Americans, you know, it runs stale in the water. Like, oh, you're not gonna get too much out of this country besides from slavery, which is gonna be lost in the shuffle. There's no documentation. But what's cool about it is they can narrow down with your DNA type blood strand to what part your ancestors more than likely came from in Africa. So you can find like, you know, from Zimbabwe or from, you know, your DNA lines up with the people from that region.
Zamunda.
Right. So I wish I didn't even know if it's a real place, but he made me believe, nigga. But you know, I think that's kind of a cool thing to know. You know what I mean? Just like, oh shit, man. Obviously I'm not gonna be able to hear great stories about my great-great-grandfather on my biological father's side, or maybe I do. Maybe he was maybe he fought, you know what I mean? Maybe he went down fighting and fucking had a kid and went out fucking trying to kill Massa and ended up losing his life over. I don't know. You know, but those stories will never be broadcasted because, you know, the man had his foot on her neck. At that time, it was a real man with his foot on his neck.
The boot.
Right, at all times.
And there ain't no French neck.
So anybody that came off as like Django, slave hero, then we ain't talking about that nigga. What? Yeah, no, he ain't. Well, he did what? Nah.
He's unchained?
Nah, we ain't do that. He ain't do that. There was no heroes back then. I'm pretty sure at some point there were slaves that were, man, fuck this shit. And just got up and said, I'll kill every last one of you niggas if I die trying. You know what I mean? And they're pretty sure you die trying. Some people just, you know, you get domesticated in the mind.
Also, some people got away too. You know, there were runners that got away. You know, and then there were some runners that got caught and got the Achilles chopped, which is why today many men in the NBA have a problem with the Achilles. No, that's not. That's but
because it was genetics and forced genetics. See, altered genetics. When your natural DNA makeup is altered at some point.
That's what they're called nowadays. I'm sorry, they're called designer genetics. That's what it is, because you get to pick. Like,
so you get to
I want my baby to have blue. Like, well, you got to think.
Crazy.
Like Kim Kardashian, she had 1 or 2 babies by herself, and then the rest, it's okay. You take my egg, you take Kanye's sperm. We'll put that in you over there. Go ahead and bake that for us.
We
come out.
had that conversation before. Like, does that baby have anything remotely
from the
host?
What that was what that was the thing when Beyonce was quote pregnant, fucking none of that shit made sense, because you know nowadays like you can't trick people like you used to, but dude, she would sit down and fucking the baby bump would be like just not real. You know what I'm saying?
Baby, adjust your
hey,
baby
yo,
bump.
B, it's just a pillow.
Adjust the bump, baby. They watch.
But that was the thing, is that then people were saying, well, maybe she lied about. First of all, maybe she lied about having the baby at all. Maybe she just had, you know, somebody else have the baby.
Alien babies.
And then they were also saying maybe she lied about when she actually had the baby and had it on a different day, and then kept the fake bump. And who gives a shit, because she's rich and I'm not, but still, it's interesting.
It gives us something to talk about.
Yeah.
Fake babies out
Let's
there.
give 'em
Celebrities
something,
with fake
Hucklebuck.
babies. That's like a book title. Like
You're the
celebrities
fake
with
baby bump.
Fake baby bumps. Oh, my Atlanta. But, I think I would like to try that. And plus, me being on my mother's side, the Greek side, and there's probably some mixture in there. My biological father's side, I did my own little research on the free note. I can only go so far through Ancestry.com for free.
Yeah, then you get to the pay level.
Right, and then it's like, all right, you got to start paying players. Like, I'm going to use the free shit. That some family on my father's side was traced back to being born, this is in Mississippi, being born in Indian territory. So I don't know if that means there might be some native mix, or maybe they're just born in Indian territory. You know what I mean? Just slaves that were born in Indian territory, or was it?
I would say it's a chance.
It's a chance, right? So I'm like, maybe because supposedly my mother said she remembers, outside of all her highness in the 80s,
some smoke signals,
right? she somewhat remembers my biological father speaking to her about that there was native in the family somewhere. You know what I mean? But like I said, he died when I was 5, so I didn't get to pick his brain, B. But it'd be interesting, man. If I get that, man, and fucking shit. What if I was like blood related? You need enough percentage for certain tribes to get they're getting kickback and shit. But shit, let me be related to a tribe that's getting some kick, nigga. Like, hold on, B.
Yep.
Niggas gonna give me a piece of land.
Get my acre. Get real tribal.
You want to talk about the feathers, B? Fucking, I said, taking everything down in the house, dream catchers.
Oh, man.
Dream catchers.
And just think how long you could keep it away from your baby's mother until she tried to fucking redo up the fucking child support shit. Oh, he Indian now?
Indian.
We're going to have to redo some paperwork.
She shows up to court with a feather in her head and shit. I'm Indian, too.
She shows up dressed like Pocahontas.
I want half. Like, what the fuck is you doing right now, bitch? Oh my God. Yeah. That's
funny.
He Indian now. I want all his moccasins. What? I don't get moccasins. The fuck is you talking about?
If you end up doing it though, we do have to do a video for it. That'd be dope. Just
good reveal, right?
You find out what you are on camera. That shit is where it's at.
Listen, if I start welling on you niggas, like I know what
find
I am,
out
but
you're not black. I don't. What?
It's like I just fucking smack the mic and walk off in the middle of the show, and I just.
Do you know how many times I said the N-word? Fuck!
Immediately go to my mother's house
and just square up. Come out the house, Mom.
Vaselined up, shoes on. She's fucking hobbling down the stairs. I'm throwing shoes at her. Fuck, Mom, you lied. Why? I think that's always a question of why.
Then you got to hit her with this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. And just swang on Mom.
But that's when they hit you with that line. You go, why? I go, I didn't want to hurt you.
Exactly. I was protecting you.
I'm fucking hurt, and I'm unprotected right now.
Right?
Because if you would have told me younger, I probably would have been angry, but as I grow older, I would have appreciated it.
And you would have processed it.
Right,
and gotten
like, oh, wait, she told me. I was pissed then, but I'm glad she told me. As opposed to, like, I'm fucking almost 40 years old here, and you're telling me now?
Yeah.
Who the fuck was he then? I've been running around telling people my daddy Jesse Harden, and it's not? What the fuck?
Turns out it's James Harden, and that's why you don't know how to share.
If that case, that nigga,
right?
Like, there's no way that nigga's younger than me.
No.
Wait, but how did that? What?
I know that is weird too, because sometimes I, forget what fucking age I am, and look, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm older than LeBron James. I'm older, like
no, we're older, older than like. Almost every fucking star in the NBA,
yeah,
NFL, like
NFL,
this guy,
all that.
Fucking Patrick Mahomes. Oh my God, this millionaire is an outstanding player. He's fucking 22.
Yep.
This guy's a kid in my eyes, man.
Yeah,
I got nephews that age, man. 22, 20, little bad niggas, man, and now they in the NFL. It's crazy when you see that. It's because they're advanced for their age, so they're like grown ass men. So
yeah.
You feel like they're
and everybody on TV looks different. Like there's been people that you've seen on TV, and then like musicians, you see them, then you see them in concert, and you're like, oh my God, they're small as fuck.
Right. That
it's
TV
just weird,
puts
but on TV they look
so
tall.
Now
and
I am a chunky nigga, but I look bigger on camera because you don't say it is
bars.
What it is, nigga. We out here.
Yo, the camera adds 10.
You want to put my dick out? So every nigga in a porno don't got a big dick. When the niggas with big dicks,
the
in
camera
porno,
adds 10 pounds to your dick.
Like, his dick was huge. Hey, it's the camera.
The camera's the angle, boo.
Nah, but shit, you watch some of them shits, you see that shit across Shorty face, and nah, it's big. that shit took up her whole goddamn face, man.
That's real. That's real. She's fighting with it.
It's like that shit fucking smacking around oh man, what was I watching the other day, man? I forgot how much I really enjoyed fucking Bernie Mac's old stand-ups, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, it was the Def Comedy Jam with the I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. He goes, man,
Ain't nothing but 50 pumps.
50 pumps. He goes, imagine it. He says, I'm just waiting for pussy to come in cans and shit. You know, niggas be shoplifting. What you do after work? I'm going to get 6-pack, nigga. I'm going in. Oh man, but he was like so. Like, I think about when I watch it, it's like, man, he would never last right now. They would have fucking chastised his whole routine on stage, man, because it was edgy for people, I think, man. He was talking about, like, fucking punching kids and shit and fucking them up. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, whoa. But
it all depends, because nowadays, you're bulletproof if you don't apologize. Because, like, listen, Dave Chappelle, speaking of that, Dave Chappelle is in, he's coming to the casino in May, but...
Ooh.
But to put it like this, like,
footnote.
absolutely nothing has happened to Dave Chappelle. They tried it, and he went, "Go kill yourself. Fuck you. I'm not apologizing for nothing."
Me. I still quit my show.
Absolutely nothing has happened to him.
Right.
But all the people that go and apologize, then they're fucking latched on you, and they're just like, "Oh, we got you once, so now every time."
Now we own you.
I could never imagine Bernie Mac apologize. I become I ain't scared of you, motherfucker. Shut the fuck up.
I ain't scared of you, motherfucker.
You heard what the fuck I said. You want me to say it again?
Right.
You know, like that type of shit where it's like,
because
if you don't apologize, you're fine.
Because I was really gearing on as that one part of that routine he did when he was going at the when he said he had custody of his kids, his siblings' kids, and with the gay one, he said, "Oh, that ass little faggot," you know. He said, and it's like that. Well, they would have killed him for that one on stage. You're calling a kid a faggot, especially now with the kids deciding who they are and shit.
Well, that was the Kevin Hart thing where he said he was going to break a dollhouse over his kid's head if he was gay and all that other shit, and then but then Kevin Hart he said he's not going to apologize and then went on an apology tour. So it was just fucking
you get
dumb.
an apology. You get an apology. Like Kev.
All that shit was
You're
karma.
a comedian, man. It should be no reason why you have to, man.
Man, all that shit was karma for cheating on his wife anyway. Like, because, dog, if you're at that status, first off, why the fuck do you have a wife? Like, just so dumb.
Like, if you know what time it is, you know what's going on. Just stay single, man, until you're ready to fucking really
stay single,
down.
or you do one of those, I got an understanding. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You got to really lock in, man. I see that with celebrities, man, because you feel that, man. You know, if like you go around any like social gathering of peers and anybody that's like, you know, the more popular person within that setting is gonna get that attention, you know, from the girls or whatever. So now you put it's like, this guy's a fucking millionaire. You know what I mean? You know why the attention's there. I'm like, you're so cute. Like, you don't really think that.
Yeah.
Some of this millionaire dick. So you want something out the deal. You know what I mean? Even if it's just to say you slept with a millionaire. You know what I mean? Like, that could be a goal for a lady. Like, look.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna fuck niggas anyway, so I might as well fuck a millionaire.
Even to
it's like, you got that.
Not to get too, you know, nasty with it, to get too MA, too R-rated, too X-rated, if you will. But when they think about it, like, yo, a woman's certain type of woman, her mind state is that man's nut is worth so goddamn much.
Like the one that accused Kobe, man. She was probably trying to catch that shit.
50 Cent fucking bragged and rapped about it. Have a baby by me, baby be a millionaire. I'll write the check before the baby comes. Who the hell cares? Right. Because he has so much money.
It was like, here, take
obviously,
that.
she knows if she has a baby by him, she's fine for the rest of her fucking life. And to have one child and just, taking care of kids isn't that fucking hard.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying? Like, listen.
That celebrity is like, you better always be the one bringing the condoms when you're
listen,
fucking around.
taking care of kids is tough when you're a fucking normal person that has a job and has all that other shit. But taking care of one child is not tough if you are fucking rich.
Right.
You'll be all right, you know?
You drop this on her, leave me alone for a little bit.
Exactly.
Take that. Take care of little man. Get him sneakers. Get it whatever you need. Get a
so
house,
you can
get a
understand
car.
how a woman would meet Kevin Hart and all that stuff and just be like, oh my God, if I was to have sex with him. First off, they figure that if I can get a picture with him for my social media, that boosts their stock.
Yep,
If she can have sex with him and tell her friends, and her friends knew about it and they saw it, oh my God. Then if she could somehow get him to come, and then she could do some slick shit and I take care of this, daddy, take off the condom for him. Then she's going in the bathroom and scooping it out and trying to however it works. I don't know. Where she keep the turkey baster in the pocketbook?
Yo,
Who knows?
it's dangerous when you think about it. Like, as a celebrity, like, and when you're in those situations, now that you say that, I think about like a celebrity, like, you really have to be like on your spy shit. Like when you're done, you gotta like, okay, back away from her. Make sure she don't get the condom. You know what I mean? Like,
first off,
flush it quick.
First off, you don't even use the condom that she gives you. You bring your own damn condom. So know that she didn't.
And when you get out that house after it's burnt down, nigga, you get the fuck out of there. You bring that you bring that coat and you throw it in the fucking toilet, man.
Yeah. Even to the point of like, you could imagine that you might not even want to tell a girl when you're about to nut because she might lock it up. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And even if you got a condom on, she might be pulling that soap. She might try to take it off with the
so listen,
man.
I got these killer Kegel moves I've been working on.
Killer Kegels.
You know what I mean? I'll snatch that shit right off you, nigga. Like a little hand just came right out of her. Shit just snap, pop. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh man, I don't want to say this person's name, but it was an incident that I recently found out about. XYZ. My mother was telling me a story about somebody that we both know.
We know about you, Jenny.
Yeah, we won't call her Jenny. It's the story my mother told me is like, oh, I know this person. We both know this person. What happened was this person was a married woman, and she was fucking around on a hubby, and she came home after fucking around with him and tried to throw a little shade towards the husband because now he's feeling a little frolicky. So now she's feeling guilty. Like, I cannot give him none because I got the guilt of just sleeping with somebody, so let me give him some. And he went in for the lay down husband and found the condom in there, bro. In there.
Ooh.
Yeah. They stuck it out. Still married to this day, and that was some years ago. But I commend him to the point where I could say, bro, that could never be me. She would never hear the end of that. I just couldn't. I would never be able to get over that. I would have been like, that shit would fucking disgust me to the point where like knowing somebody cheated on you, or like somebody saying I cheated on you and you got to deal with it. Oh, but to actually find the condom, like, oh, bitch, you just fucked the nigga before me. That is a like, ugh, like that's like almost like, to me, I'd have been like, that's no respect at all.
The only thing I could commend him on is, I guess, not killing her.
Right.
That's it.
And it's like, you blew yet?
Because then you got to think, like, you stay with that person, bro, she owns you forever. Like, she got you because you didn't leave for that. What are you going to leave for? Like, you wake up and she's fucking somebody next to you in the bed, and she's like, yo, keep it down.
You
like,
wake up with they're fucking the condoms on your face, dripping in your mouth. Yeah, that's what you want? Is the life you want?
That's
and these are
crazy.
real stories, man. Like when I hear that shit, I'm like,
true story.
I'm just like, whoa, how quick were you when him getting out of you and not even checking? What the fuck was his deal? He didn't even check for it? Like, he just got out and be like, all right. And just like zipped up his pants and left and went home to see if he had the condom still on. I'm like, oh, where'd it go?
That is one of those things of like, where are you? Like, what like,
it had to be one of those, hurry up, somebody's coming, and stop, and be like, oh, he thought she got rid of the condom. She thought he got rid of it, and no, it was curled up inside you, baby. Like,
damn.
And now old daddy dick come in there and he gotta pull out a sheet. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga came out with his dick looking like a Klansman. Like, ooh, I never put that on. We married. I don't wear these things. The fuck my dick got a hood on it for? Oh, and then fuck around and be like a big ass Magnum come out of there. The nigga's like, I know goddamn well that ain't my shit.
Right.
Are you fucking a big dick nigga? Oh, the agony. So it ain't just men that are dogs. That's all I'm saying. I go into that situation. I talk about that one a lot because it's like, hey, if we're dogs and women, if you do the same thing, please don't run away from the title. You have to be a dog too. That's all. And the thing is, most men are supposed to accept it when they're called that. So when you're called it, don't do it. Well, I do it because men do it. No. Accept it.
I believe DMX said, if you a dog for life, ride or die.
Ride or die. You know what I mean? It's like, I think that if that how we were saying, like, the whole unapologetic thing, I think, like, when it comes to that stigma where, like, a lot of women don't like to admit those kind of things, if you kind of come unapologetic, like, listen, yeah, I did. I'm like a guy. I like fucking. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's a real comment. Like, okay, maybe you might not be the one for me or something. You know what I mean? But it's a real ass statement. You know what I mean? I think a lot of them run away from that.
You a real ass bitch.
You real, like you owning it. You coming with an honest to God truth that a lot of per se women would have that opinion but won't state it because of imagery, you know.
Yo, live your truth, boo. I'll tell you of another female that's living their truth is Post Malone.
Posty.
Very emo. I remember one time I was delivering for Uber Eats and I saw a college kid at the Fairfield campus having a life-changing moment by himself in an SUV playing Post Malone's music too loud.
Was it congratulations?
You know when the windows are up.
Congratulations.
You know when the windows are up and you can still hear it way too loud? Like all of the windows in the vehicle are up and it's too loud outside of the vehicle?
I'm that guy, bro.
That shit.
I'm terrible.
It was some song where he's screech, scream, crying, I fall apart. And this dude was having a moment. So Post Nasal Drip came out and of course, now mind you, all of this is being hailed as supremely brave, and he's oh my God, thank you that he's in touch with everything. Because Post Malone came out in a GQ interview and said that he gets face tats because, let's face it, I'm an ugly motherfucker, and he gets them to look cool. Yo, I would just try to say to anybody listening that does not have a face tat, yo, stop looking up to these fucking attention whore bitches.
Right. That's
like,
I mean, if you're doing, it's like imagery is one thing. If you just said, look, it's an image he's shooting for, okay. But when you're trying to like, you're already rich and famous, and you know, you getting all the attention in the world. Obviously, you ain't see how this shit works, man.
Like, and this
fame, nobody gives a fuck how ugly you are. You know
and this the other day, Post Malone posted a picture of himself crying. Like, and me,
was it a selfie or somebody took it? So they're both confused. They're both weird.
It was a selfie. It was a selfie. And my stance on this is like, to me, I see that as an honest to God mental problem.
There is.
Because, yo, like, you should really have to be held up for, like, you should have to go away for 2 days if you do that shit. To be dead honest with you. And I'm not saying, you know, like, yeah, it might sound funny, but I'm talking about, like, bro, if you are crying and legitimately crying and somewhere in your head you just go, oh, I got to get a picture of this. What the fuck? Like, yo, that's an honest to God mental problem.
And then people that are listening, you know, when you do, if you've done it, or you know people that do it, when you hear it said that way, and you got to listen to like, yeah, that do sound dumb as shit. Yeah, like, is anybody saying that to you? Like, listen,
because the thing,
you're holding up a phone in your most emotional point. Where and you're like, or it's not a good angle. It's blurry. Let me, like, are you practicing your cry face?
Because, and that's the thing too. To what you just sparked in my mind is, no one has ever taken one selfie, gone good, and then posted it. So you're crying, taking multiple selfies to get the good one, and then fucking posting it for what reason?
For the world to know your emotions. Like,
yeah. Like, I honestly think that should be like, yo, if somebody posts a picture of themselves crying, it should immediately be like, yo, that's a mental problem. They should be taken and putting on 5150 hold for fucking 2 days of like, yo, that's really like not okay.
It's not, man. It's almost like it's the era of the world is my diary page, you know?
Yeah.
They need to hear everything I'm fucking... Hear me, world. This is my diary page. I want you to know when I'm sad or crying or like. No, we don't need to know every emotion in your fucking life. I think some things should be sacred, like tears.
Yeah,
you know
like I follow a good amount of women that don't wear much clothes on Instagram, and how I unfollow is anytime one of them posts a fucking hospital pic of just like, oh, all good. It was just a panic attack. Nah, you're done. Because I have to put it to you like this. If you've ever had a panic attack, you would not brag about it. I don't understand how anyone who ever has any sort of anxiety or panic issues, if you really had it, you would not fucking brag about it. Like, it's not something that you would try to garner attention from. It just isn't. But everyone's on that, like, it's that, yeah.
Like, what?
Everyone's on that, like, that feel bad for me and that pre-planned shit. Like, I had unfollow some actress that I had followed on Instagram. I had to unfollow her the other day because it was the black and white photo of her holding a fucking another woman's hand in a hospital bed, and then, you know, over top they put the graphics that say R.I.P. Mom, and then the date. And it's like, yo, so while your mother is dying in fucking the hospital bed, you're thinking about a photo op of grab her hand and then take the picture. And so later you go, what, through your streaming fucking tears, you're just like, yeah, and then that was her birthday. And I know it only takes 2 minutes to do on the phone, but still,
it's the thought,
like,
that
you're pre-planning your pain. You're pre-planning, oh my God, I can't wait for fucking people to hear that my mom died. Like, it's just,
that's crazy.
You know, it's
man.
fucking
like,
weird.
Your pain is not sacred. That's crazy. It's like, what are you doing? That whole emotional disconnection is where I think is going to be a problem. I'd say for like our generation when we're older. I mean, these fucking emotionless people, man, or people that are fucked up are going to be the ones that wiping our asses when we're fucking 80 years old in retirement homes, you know, if we get to that point. You know what I mean? It's like, we get to that point, it's like, man, you guys are going to be some shit. There's going to be some shitty fucking people, man. Yeah. Like, not wanting to take care of the elderly. You know what I mean? It's like, I better start getting real self-sufficient at an old age when I'm up there. It's like, look, I got to figure this shit out. Hopefully it's some kind of digital robot that just does it for me, because people ain't going to be shit. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody wants to. I say it all the time, and I repeat it again. This is the generation of instantaneous gratification. If they can't have it now, they don't want it. They can't have it in 2 seconds, they don't want it.
Bro, that's why my like, I feel like there is zero reason ever to be like, hey, this is coming out in 2 weeks. I don't think that needs to happen anymore. Like, people think that fucking Beyonce is like revolutionary for not promoting her album. Nobody needs it anymore, because literally the first time you see it, you should be able to go and get it. That's what it is.
People don't want to wait. It's
there's
right
no
now.
fucking, it doesn't, our society as a whole anymore, it does not make sense to be like, oh shit, in 2 months, this album's coming out. Like, for a concert, that makes sense, but it doesn't make any sense to be like.
The only ones that still like thrive in that for their reasons is like movies, you know, theater, because
you
know, they're hitting theaters, you know. You do away with theaters, it's not going to be like that anymore.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, they're always worried about that first week, you know, means something nowadays. Like, first week music sales doesn't mean anything anymore, especially because people aren't buying music, you're streaming it, and it's just.
But I'm surprised the movie guys aren't taking a big hit to all the aggregators with these. Like, listen, I got fucking apps that got free movies. You know, I got like 2-3 of them in my phone right now. You know, I'm just surprised that they can still keep up. People, it's like, I guess it's really, sometimes you just can't take away from a good something night out to do and going to look at a huge ass screen to watch a movie. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I can think that still keeps them alive, because it's like, these fucking movies that just dropped 2 months ago, you can watch at home now.
Well, I'd say, I think that they've definitely taken a huge hit, and I think they're just adjusting now. It's like porn, same thing. Like, I think I bought like 3 porn DVDs when I was 18.
Right.
And since then, I've spent zero money on pornography, you know,
it's
like
just streams. It's
the same thing with movies, where I think they've adjusted to, and you got to remember, like, there's the movie in the theater, but then when it gets out of the theater, it goes to Netflix. When it's out of the theater, it goes to Disney Plus. So they're still making money on it, just different ways.
Yep, still generating, but that opening week is where they get their biggest millions, I guess.
Yep.
Up front, you know, it's like opening weekend, so and so made 140 million. Like,
and because still that sentence and that statement read makes noise, and it makes a difference of just like, oh my God, they had the biggest opening, whatever. And they'll break it down and everything, like, oh my God, it was the biggest Korean movie that was a horror movie that opened up in January 7th, and you're like, all right, so they won that. You know what I mean? Like, they go for a lot of like, oh my God, this was the biggest romantic comedy that ever came out in August. And you're like, all right, but
in the last decade in August, underneath an Australian producer. What?
Yeah.
Where the fuck are we going right now?
Like, oh, okay, you know,
dial it down, niggas, dial it down.
But it makes for a good headline, you know?
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's things are happening at a pace.
I believe a rapper once upon a time said, starting off rough and only getting rougher.
Getting rougher. Like LeBron's hairline, just rougher, tougher. I was telling you earlier, man, I seen that thing, LeBron doesn't know who his father is, speaking of that DNA stuff we were discussing. His mom was, I guess, a Marilyn Monroe.
I mean, she did fuck his teammate, so.
Right. She did. And she fucked the teammate that ended up losing his fucking mind, Delonte West, who's like all cracked out and shit in the street. And it's funny because I'll tell you, looking at interviews of him back then when he was on the team and when he was playing in the NBA, he seemed off. Just like his, you know what sounds like him? It reminds me, there's a new guy out. His name is Trae Young. He plays for the Atlanta Hawks. Phenomenal. He's like a Steph Curry. Real small, but he can shoot the lights out, you know? But when he talks, he has that really like almost speech impediment. Like he's like slow kind of, like Delonte West. And it's like, man, is there something to that? Is he going to go crazy too?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, are they kind of slow or do they just talk like that? I almost feel like it doesn't matter that, it doesn't mean that just because, you know what I mean, he's that talented and be great at basketball and what he does, doesn't mean he can't be kind of slow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just say slow people can't have that. Like, he could just have that freakish talent. He's just nice at what he does, and basketball is second nature, but, you know, his speaking skills and not the greatest.
I still think LeBron paid somebody to run up on Delonte West with a syringe and spike that shit in his neck because,
ruin his life.
bro, yo, something happened. Because I'm telling you,
He blackballed him from the league, man. That's what happened. He couldn't get back in.
Yeah, but when it goes from that to him fighting on a highway with no shirt on, completely like unintelligible, going no, you're just like
I'm a fucking soldier.
Bro, there's a big difference between like and I watched the one video you had sent me about him talking about like yeah, man, the first time he took whatever, you know, mood stabilizer that they gave him, and, you know, he kind of like came to with like, yo, I got a fucking, why do I have a, you know, 2 guns on me? You know, one's in a guitar case and the other one, like,
right.
where he kind of just like came to on the like, whoa, what the fuck? And
there's some problems there, man.
there are a lot of those drugs, a lot of SSRIs. It's a thing where you have to take multiple doses for it. It's almost like getting on a boat where like you got to kind of get up to it and then you ride on it, where sometimes it takes a couple of weeks for it to get into your system and settle where it's supposed to settle. So a lot of people do have a bad first time, you know, with the first pill, shit like that. And I can't believe that he didn't have you know, just enough people around him, the correct people around him. But maybe he started taking care of his bipolar once he was already out of the league. I forget.
Yeah, it was he was tackling it. He had took time off to tackle it, and then when he got the help and everything, he was trying to get back in.
Yeah.
But it was like a blackball kind of deal. Like there was because of him coming out and being open about being bipolar and everything, and admitting he had a problem mentally, and he was trying to get help for it. It kind of like stirred people away because he was acting up before he left anyways. He was doing crazy shit, you know what I mean? So other teams were like, I don't want to fuck with it. It's too much of a risk, you know what I mean? It's like, what if he don't take his meds, you know what I mean? And now he comes to the fucking arena and he's like fucking Gilbert Arenas with the guns in the bag and he's like fucking shooting up in the sky like Yosemite Sam type shit, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's too much of a liability. So it's like, on top of that, and on top of LeBron probably telling niggas, yo, anybody fuck with him, you get nothing from me.
Right.
No endorsements, no nothing. I'll come to your stadium. I'll tell the world that I'm sitting out. Like, he has that power to where, like, if he announces he's not going to be playing in a game on the road somewhere, like, their sales won't be as high.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like, if they're not seeing LeBron, people aren't going to want, yo, I was only going to see LeBron. I'm not going now. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck, you know, I'm paying top-tier money because anytime LeBron comes to your town, you know, like for the Knicks are terrible right now. But if the Lakers come right now, those fucking tickets that were once $40 are now going to be like $300. And they're shit.
Hell yeah.
Seats, you know, you talk about the nosebleed for $200. That's ridiculous, you know. But because LeBron's in town,
and you can tell that story for the rest of your life. It's like, I know I saw LeBron play. It's that type of shit.
I saw him. He was a little pepper on the court, bouncing around.
I see his hairline from back there.
Right, I was that far away. He was just bouncing around, man.
No, but even then, like, I was trying to think because we always hear the headlines and we always hear the mic drop moments. But then at some point you have to think like it had to happen where in a room together, LeBron had to be like, Mom, what the fuck?
Right.
Like
at some point.
the shit really like a conversation between LeBron and his mother had to happen at some point because it moved.
Apologized because he's about to cut. That's, you know, remember now that your son he's the cow. You know what I mean? You fucking around with him, he cut you off like, nah, you done, man. Nothing. Shoot, well, you better start apologizing real quick. I'm sorry, son. I was just saying. Why would you do that? You slept with my teammate, man. That's kind of nasty. But once again, Mom was only 15 when she had him.
Yeah.
So to Delonte, it's like, yo, she only like, and I think Delonte was older than LeBron. So I think he had him by a couple years. So it's kind of like, well, your mom really only like 7 years older than me, B.
Even on, it's from both levels. It's so fucking wrong of like, you can tell then Delonte has that scumbag in him to do that. And then, LeBron's mom of like,
just like, why would you do that to your son?
Do you know how many dicks are out there?
Right.
That didn't have to come from right there. And you guys were no fucking star-crossed lovers. We're like, oh my God, you can't keep us apart. We're in love. Like, no, you guys fuck, and like, what are you doing?
Right. And as that thing is like, how do you, like, that's just the ultimate selfish movie. Like, his status. You know what, I mean? Once he's, you got guys like him, man, when they reach a certain status, like, your closest family member, when they do shit, it's gonna do nothing but affect you. It's gonna come down on you. All their bullshit, everything his mom got caught doing or out there doing, ain't gonna do nothing but every time he's have a press conference, every time he's somewhere. Oh, hey, LeBron, hey, what about your mom sleeping with your teammate? Any thoughts on that? It's like, yo, I just want to talk about the game. Just here so I don't get fined.
See, because I've never been too into LeBron, and obviously you don't have to be too into LeBron to know about this, but when it happened, were there fucking reporters asking him shit?
I believe so. Yeah. Oh, anything to talk about the allegations with what you call it? Because there was I think there was like they had like a little scrap out over it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, right, 100%. But I think the media caught wind of it though. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think they got visual like footage of it, but the whole thing came out about them getting into it. It's like, who blames them? My teammate slept with my mom, man. Like, what? Ain't your mom?
I got to look up to see if there's footage, because if I was LeBron, I could never even imagine answering the question besides, yo, shut the fuck up.
Like, yo, step outside real quick.
Yeah.
I'm going to beat your ass and then fuck your mom. How you like that, nigga?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But, LeBron, I don't know. I've been catching wind of his story for the last week or so. Been really, like I said, I didn't follow LeBron as much, but I was kind of checking out, a couple things are popping up because of what he's doing right now. 17 years. He's on his 17th year in the league. He's still playing amazingly. You know what I mean? Possibly get the MVP, but the Greek freak is too far ahead, I think. He's just a fucking unstoppable dude, man.
Freaking and Greeking.
But, LeBron had that weird journey with a single mother, didn't know who his father was. And then they narrowed it down to a couple people because the mom was a hoe. I don't know, she was... she had 3-4 people that could have been his father. That's a small window, baby. You thinking of the time he was conceived. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was conceived. If you narrowed it down to like that week, okay, it was this week, and you slept with 3-4 niggas in 1 week. Like, to me, it's like, yo, that's crazy. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
Well, I can put it to you like this. There's plenty of people that have babies at 15 and shit like that. There's very rare instances where it's that, oh my God, on the first time I got pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's more likely to be like, oh, you were just fucking up a storm at 15 and now you got pregnant because you were dumb and let all these fools come in you.
You're right. You was just out there dancing, just taking a risk. Playing with a loaded gun, man. You got shot.
That dick risk.
Dick risk.
Take that dick risk, baby.
Pulled out that cock.
Cock that cock and let it go.
Cock that cock. Yeah, but his mom wasn't shit. But it's funny because when I showed you the picture of the guy who they really think it sounds like it probably is him. When like I said, I showed you the picture first time. I was like, yeah, no, I mean, you didn't even got to play no more of the story. Like,
yeah.
The nigga LeBron looks just like this guy with a Jerry curl.
It looked like when Martin Lawrence would dress up like his own mother, and you're just like, yeah, it's just Martin Lawrence. You know what I'm saying?
Martin Lawrence with a dress and muumuu on. Yeah, but it was like he had it's a picture of LeBron with a Jerry curl. That's what this guy looked like in the 80s. And the physique, he was a big fucking dude. He played high school basketball, and this guy was huge. He was like defined, jacked.
Yep.
So it's kind of like that's where LeBron got that shit from, man. And if you look at that guy, and then there's a half a brother that came forward. And that was an interesting story too, because he came forward with the whole thing of it all. Boom, boom, boom. Couldn't find out, and he was like, he didn't want nothing. That's could be just saying, but he said, he didn't ask for no money or nothing. Initially, he didn't ask for money or anything because he just wanted to get to know him. You know what I mean? But then there was reports of his mother dying, and asking LeBron if he could help pay for the funeral. And he just ignored him completely. So they give LeBron a lot of shit, like, yo, at the end of the day, this guy still is a stranger to him. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
But then they're like, yeah, but then the flip side is, he gets fucking money to strangers all the time. Charities and shit like that. Yeah, I get it, but, maybe he feel kind of weird, this guy just coming into his life. I'm your brother.
Then that's the start of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And who knows if even, it might be deeper than that. LeBron's fucking lawyers might have told him not to do it, because who knows how it works when, like, if that dude then does go after money for some fucking reason and then goes, well, why'd you pay for this then? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
if you're not that
who
close
knows?
to him, why would you do
Exactly.
that? I wouldn't
So
do that
who
to people
knows?
I didn't know.
It could all, when it gets to
Right.
lawyers and money and big
But
money and shit.
LeBron did deny to take the DNA test with him.
Of course.
Yeah, it's like, nah, because he, like you said, that box of opening up of like, oh, I got another nigga. You're gonna want money around me.
Yeah.
You can't say. And plus, they said he was an aspiring musician or something, and he's like a musician in a church or something. So
Yeah.
he's like trying to. So yeah, you probably would like, yo, meet some connections, big bro.
It's too far gone. Like, say if LeBron was a single man now, like, who are you gonna find? Like, say, like, fucking if Jay-Z was single,
Right
if,
now,
like,
right now, single right now.
Yeah.
Like, who are you finding that's gonna be down?
Exactly.
Jay? Who gonna be a ride or die bitch? It's gonna be like, it's Jay-Z. I'm with him.
yeah,
He's a billionaire almost.
Yeah.
I think I'm good here.
yeah. If you find out LeBron's your half brother, I don't think your entire life you were fucking like, oh my god, I just feel like I have a half brother out there, and I just wonder who he is. Like,
People say I look like LeBron James.
Yeah, it's tough. It sucks. But then also the dude might be completely pure of heart, and it's like, oh my god, hey man, you're my half brother. I'd like to get to know you.
Right.
Oh, just fuck me. Okay, all right.
Right,
Well, all
right. And
It's tough.
right, it is, man. I'd like to believe that's the genuine, approach of that, but people are fucked up, man. It's like, why did it take so long? I don't know. I don't know when he came out, but from the picture, it looks like when the guy was coming out, he was definitely older, like in his young 20s or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
He wasn't a little kid.
right. So it wasn't like you weren't looking in your teenage years. You was like, let me break down my family tree and shit. Akron, Ohio. His dad, my dad wasn't around, and shit, we kind of look alike. Couldn't find out. It was,
And I'll be dead honest with you, LeBron's not dumb. Like, LeBron looked at those pictures and went like, yeah, okay, that's him.
he just not talking about it, right?
Yeah.
They give LeBron a lot of shit.
The
'cause
guy's
he doesn't
dead.
open up,
You know what I mean? The
He
guy's
died,
dead.
yep. He died when he
Fucking-
was 8 years old. He got shot and killed. So.
LeBron does not need to do no fucking DNA. Yo, if you look at a picture and literally it's you, you're fucking like he knows. He doesn't need no
I
fucking.
know. It's like it's ocular proof. We talked about
Yeah,
this.
we talked about ocular proof.
What up, Ock?
What's the proof like?
Right. But he's playing phenomenal at a 35-year-old, 17-year in the league frame of his, and got the Lakers got the second best record in the whole NBA. So say what you want about the guy, man. Wherever he goes, he brings a winning atmosphere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fatherless or no.
Whether biological bothered or not.
Whether bothered or not, nigga. Don't bother asking. The nigga gets buckets. Fuck it, buckets.
Bouquets.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know that it is this, and it's the storybook, romance if it happens as well too. If he fucking wins on the year that Kobe passed and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
So
bring home for the Lakers and
yeah,
good old LA. She's so brave.
so great.
They were giving LeBron a lot of shit too because they didn't know his whereabouts at the funeral. They were panning looking for him. He wasn't in the crowd. He elected not to go. Well, the story was from his camper side of thing. He was there, but he wasn't out there. He didn't want to sit out in the crowd. It's like, oh, he's being a big baby. So yeah, maybe he don't want fucking cameras in his face when he's balling. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe he's just being a prima donna. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things too. Are you making this really a show, LeBron, about you? When it's like, get out there, show your respect. But everybody shows their griefs differently. So you know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
like, my thing is like, LeBron, cut the fucking shit out. Stop. It's not about you. It's about showing respect to Kobe. So get out there and show your fucking respect. Stop sniveling and crying back here like a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, that's a thought in the head, I would think. You know what I mean? But it's kind of like, I don't know, man. He might have traumatic experiences with death, man. Not everybody takes that shit the same, you know?
Yeah.
Some people fucking freak out when they see a body in the casket for the first time. Like, I'm trying to remember when I first saw the shit. I don't even think I remember.
Yeah, my parents took
reacted.
me to wakes and shit way too fucking early. Like, I'm talking like 5 fucking years old. Like, I remember kneeling in front of caskets where I'm like, I have no clue who the fuck this person
Right.
is.
What do we do? I bow my head like you?
Yeah.
Do I touch it? I don't want to touch him, right?
Right?
It was weird. I remember. I don't even know if I can remember the first funeral. I know I was at my biological father's funeral, but his was a closed casket. But I remember because I was like 5, 5 or 6, maybe 5, and I just cried because everybody else was crying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't fucking know what's going on. Nobody. My dad's dead. I don't even have a good memory of him. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Right.
What's going on? Mom's crying. Everybody around me crying. Well it up, Mike.
Let's go.
Let's go. It was like we're having a cry fest right now. Everybody's dressed in black having a cry fest. I don't know what this is. Is this fucking Metallica concert?
Yo, Andrew, know that shit always turns into a cry competition instead. You know what I'm saying?
And they always say
then
that
somebody passes out, then somebody tries to throw themselves on a casket, and somebody goes for the take me instead.
I think that was Medea had said that, the one who cries the most at the funeral feels the least,
Yep.
Like you out there wailing, it's like, oh, because you did some fucked up shit and you're feeling guilty right now. To that person, you're feeling guilty. Whatever relationship you had with that person, something came out where you feel really like shit that you probably did to that person. And Oh, God. I hope my...
No, and you know what it was like, too, where I could put it to you like this. You know why Kobe's death felt different? Because obviously he was a different person, but nobody was trying to take the energy away from Kobe's death. Nobody tried to make it about them. And you got to think, a lot of times when people die, it's much different.
Right.
So many people are trying to, even...
And that's what I think they were trying to say with LeBron. So it's this whole thing with him where they try to say his ego is really like that. But it's like he's so... like the friendly, smiley, charming.
Yeah.
It almost like, is that shade or is that him genuine?
Well, that's the thing, too. I think nobody knows because LeBron is stupid calculated. I'll put it to him like that. And but even for me, I'll say, bro, obviously I don't know the relationship. From what I understand, they seem to be somewhat close. If LeBron and Kobe were friends like that, Kobe passes away, it's okay that LeBron does not post on his Instagram for 2 fucking days. You know what I'm saying?
That was the biggest
like, yo, that's
LeBron
okay.
hasn't posted yet. All right. What the fuck? Because
like I told you, I read that article or excuse me, I didn't read the article, but I saw the headline where it was like Vanessa Bryant took over 3 hours to write the fucking eulogy for Gigi and I'm like, yo, did you think that she was gonna go off top on him?
Yo, we're gonna wing this shit real quick.
Did you think she was gonna be like, yo, off top?
Mamba out.
Like
that's it. Mamba out. And she just drops him like, oh my God. Well, she did all that for that.
Oh my God. She is so strong.
Right. I did it was cool that what they did is that, they had their own private funeral, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they just did that for, this is what Kobe would, you gotta give him his love, you know what I mean? You gotta open up the world and let the whole public in there, let the A-listers and all common folk inside the forum and get busy in Staples Center. You know what I'm saying?
I know that I'm different from the majority of people's feelings on this, but I don't get, and once again, I know that I am in the, if there's a right and a wrong, I know I'm in the wrong. But I don't get like getting together and then you're like, oh, hey, Beyonce, sing that really fucking sad song. Go for it. And then that happens. And then, a bunch of other people make speeches. Man, I love Kobe, Jordan doing his whole thing. And then they're like, hey, Alicia Keys, go ahead and sing that sad song. And then she, it's just, for me,
right.
That's
why, like I said, I'm not a big, I don't have a religion per se. I'm not a big religious person like that. But when it comes to, death and celebrate, like Pentecostals got it right. Like, they when they say celebrate, like, they celebrate.
Yeah, it's a party.
There's no, it's a party. It's tambourines is going, it's jumping. It's they like, okay, I feel the energy is in here. It's real. It's real. It don't feel like somebody just died, and that's the energy they're trying to create. Like, no, this is not a death energy. This is life after death energy. We're gonna give it to you. Pump it in, clear.
It's so funny because. I'm not shaming you for using the word, but because, the buzzwords now are, vibes, energy, toxic, things like that. But it'd just be so funny. Like, imagine you arrive to a funeral, like, what's the vibe like? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, just before I go in, what's the energy like in there? Like, you can just picture that's going to be the new.
If you don't know what the fuck the energy's like at a funeral, you should be there.
Exactly.
Most funerals. But then, like I said, you get the Pentecostals, the energy's a little different. Like, these niggas is pumped right now. Okay. All right. Let's dance. Let's dance. Let's let them. The thing is,
celebrate your life
so loud that he can head in the heavens. That is what they talk about. So loud, his feet are tapping and clapping, nigga, next to the man with the long hair or an afro, depending on how you believe in him.
True.
Oh, I think at the beginning of the day, my niggas.
It's the end of the night.
And this is Watermelon. Right here.
Versus Pumpkin. And one day, we'll get that ending word right again. Episode 115. It was all a dream.
Did I say the end of the night again?
Yeah.
I did. I'm just so mixed up in black. This is biracial problems. People work with me. You know, I don't.
Truth.
Niggas know. Young Pastry, you see that?
Little mattress, you see the bed.
Sleep on it.